Yo, and on that note, yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to a special stream. As I was putting this together, I even asked Dark, and I even said it in the chat. I'm like, what day is it? I'm not usually used to doing a show or anything, you know, kind of like put together for Monday. But, you know, this past Saturday's next podcast was so crazy. We didn't get into a bunch of topics that we had planned. But it was such great discussion. Everything was flowing. People were really putting their opinions out there. You know what we do. We just let it roll and see where the opinions and where the topics go. But today, me and my next podcast brother, that is right. He has taken the Save the World gloves off, and he has put them on the coffee table for now. And he's willing to come and hang out and talk about a couple things with me. Yeah, it is none other than Dark Ottemis. What is up, brother?
What's up, man? I'm happy to be here, dude. I've been wanting to talk about, you know, some of these topics, and we didn't get to do it on next, so I'm happy to do it today.
Nice, man. As you guys can see, I kind of threw something together in terms of graphics. I hope you guys like it. I will have gameplay of the games that we're talking about as we're talking about them, but I didn't put them all together, so as we like switch the topic, it's going to take me a second. I'm going to switch the gameplay over and all that good stuff. I know you guys are used to production value here, so I'm going to try to maintain those high standards. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to the chat. First off, my Xbox Nation brother himself, Saltiest Gaming is in the chat. What is up? Siberia, what is going on? Stinking Corpse, Redneck Gamer. Yo, Dark, Face 23, Brooklyn, New York, thinks we are going to damage control Crackdown 3. And I know we're going to talk about that, but...
And I told him I don't damage control things, so I'm just letting him know right now I don't damage control.
Well, that was a hot subject. We are going to talk about that, but we're not going to, like, start it, like, off on that subject. But, yo, Triple Cup Chuck, what is going on? Of course, we have LG Nemesis in the house. Definitely a supporter of the channel. What is going on, my brother? All right, so with that being said, the gameplay that's going on now is Anthem. So, first off, Dark, did you get a chance to get into the demo of Anthem?
I was able to get into the demo day 1 for like 10 minutes, dude. I know you weren't able to get in until like
the second week
or something like that.
the second week when it was open to everybody. That's when I got in, man.
Yeah, that first week was horrendous. I will say that it was just there was so much stuff going on. I think they just weren't ready for what the community was going to bring to them. So they just kind of like, oh, we'll see how it goes, and then it kind of blew up in their face.
Well, you said you played it for about 10 minutes. I mean, that's not a long time in terms of
the first day.
Oh wow.
The first day. The second day I actually got into it about a couple hours, and then I played with Mega and Don.
Oh no, so
you know our fellow
you were absolutely everywhere with that squad.
Yeah, dude. It was
all
fun,
right. So, off your gameplay and everything like that, you haven't been able to kind of like really share your opinion. What do you think of this from the demo? Do you feel like this is a game you're going to be playing? What's the highs and lows, man?
I think from that demo alone, I was like, this feels really good. It feels really tight. The gunplay feels really tight. The flying around feels really good. Like everything, the controls are really feel really nice. I just felt like just for the demo alone, there wasn't a lot of content to really get you engaged and make you want to play it over and over and over again. I mean, I did play it that whole week, and I did play a little bit of it when it was the open beta or open demo. Sorry,
thank you.
Demo. We all know it was a beta, though. I mean, you can't deny that.
Sir, we're gonna go with these things moving forward, and I'm gonna say this to the chat as well. Well, first off, I'm gonna give a shout out to Oh Snap It's Mel, who got me this gorgeous Iron Bean coffee mug sitting here in its rightful spot on my computer desk. But just to let you know, we are going to go with whatever the developer decides to call it. If they call it a demo, we're going to expect a demo. If they're calling it a beta, we're going to expect, what happens usually with a beta. Same with a
yeah, but it was a glorified marketing scheme there with them trying to make it sound
dude,
if that was
a glorified marketing scheme, like that was like a clogged up shotgun when somebody pulled the trigger, man. Be really honest with you, dude.
I'll agree with you on that one.
Who is in here?
What's up,
you guys? I don't know. I got an invitation to join the party. Where's the drinks?
Well, I'm drinking water right now. I don't know. I'll let you have some if you want. You're only like a room away. Right now we're talking about Anthem. Dark is sharing his opinion. Kind of like what he feels.
Well, I'm trying to share my opinion, but Bot interrupts me like every 5 seconds to let me know
Dark,
how
I've told you before, this is a conversation. That's how it goes. You say something, I say something. You say something.
Yeah, but you retort with something that I'm just like, I don't care.
On that note, I think everybody in the chat definitely needs to hit that thumbs up button because he is going in on me right now.
Yeah, for sure.
When you feel the love tonight.
Oh my goodness! You sure it's not Saturday? I feel like it's Saturday, but we're just missing people right now.
It feels like Saturday.
Yeah, it's like everybody just quit and they were like, F you, Xbox.
I'm waiting for that day, to be really honest with you. I think it's going to happen. But
I'm paying them. Don't worry about it.
All right, so, Dark, you think the demo didn't have enough content, per se?
It felt very lackluster. For me, in terms of just like they give you the 3 missions, and then they give you the 1 stronghold, and then they give you that free roam where you can basically do whatever you want. That was cool. That was fine. I mean, we did a little bit of that with Mega and Dawn and myself. That was fun. That was kind of different. You know, it was just kind of, we just free roamed. We just went around, did like little events here and there.
Did you find anything cool?
But it wasn't. We did find some things like materials and stuff, but we didn't find anything that was like, oh my god, that's freaking awesome. It was kind of lackluster in that front. I feel. I mean, the guys might say otherwise. I think, you know, probably Mega or Don would probably say something along the lines like, it's just a beta, dude. but for me, honestly, I feel that it was lackluster. I wanted more. Maybe it's just because I wanted the full game at that point. I'm just like, I mean, just from this gameplay alone, like on your channel, it looks great. I mean, it
dude, that's because,
definitely looks and
that's
plays
because
how it feels.
I have the controller. You know? This is my gameplay right now. That's why it looks so good, man.
See, you can't get too big of a head.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I am absolutely humble.
You gotta be humble. I mean, you say that, but
that's my disclaimer. By the way, no matter how big-headed I sound, I just want to let everybody know I am very humble.
I feel like Snaps can attest to that one.
Yo, you should have heard when she gave me the cup at first. I thought the cup was hers. Yo, Dark, you heard it, and I.
Yeah, I know. You were like shitting on it.
I was not shitting on the cup.
She's like, it's yours, and you're like, oh my god, I love it. And I'm just like, oh wow, all right, man. That's cool.
It's a beautiful cup.
No, so it is absolutely gorgeous. Yo, shout out to Iron Bean. I just want to let you know, oh snaps, by the way, Iron Bean Coffee. I was kind of like their #1 fan. I was the only person. You know that post that they put up on Twitter where there's usually 3 people. And the spotlight was all mine today. I was only person. I felt special. I you know, but oh snaps, did you get a chance to play the demo at all? I know you played kind of like the alpha, you know, the stuff you couldn't talk about at first and everything like that. Did you get into the beta or the demo?
Okay, so yeah, I did. But the gameplay that's on the screen right now, none of that was experienced by me. Because all I did was fly around in my javelin and got nothing accomplished whatsoever.
No. Now,
it was just so much fun. I just got lost playing in my javelin, and then I didn't do the missions this time because I assumed it was going to be the same missions that were on the alpha, and I was wrong. So,
all right. Well, I know like a lot of people try to compare this game to Destiny 2 because it is it's a looter shooter, you know, it's all about the end game for a lot of people and what's going to keep people back, you know, coming back to play the game and stuff like that. Now, with Destiny 2, the very few times I got you to play it, you had fun, but you had fun just kind of wandering around doing your own thing. Do you think, like, if we get this game, you would be, like, dedicated to the storyline, or do you...
I'm not going to promise that, because you know me, I'm ADD, so I can't promise to do the story, but if you don't jump ahead and go like, you know, like crazy and play it all the time while I'm working, then I might, like, if you keep up with me. I just want to add that I am giving away 2 copies and on the 21st for Anthem Standard Edition, digital codes, any platform. So I put the link in the chat because we are giving away 2 codes, guys.
I mean, can I get one of them codes?
If you win. Unless someone wants to be nice that wins and they give it to you, it is through Gleam. You have to follow me on Mixer. Everything else is optional. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely like one of the missions I did. I don't know if it was in the beta, but let me tell you, it was so much fun because you had to like fly through caves. I guess you could talk about it now, right? And then go underwater, and I don't know.
That's what I did to get to the spider. I enjoyed it. I was flying through caves, going underwater, and at the end there was like this huge cavernous room, And
Maybe that it was it.
oh, okay.
This doesn't look familiar though. Like I'm watching the gameplay
Well,
right
I'm
now.
tearing it up right
and
now, using my special, everything like that. I went in. I also went in with K Mega, the Don. I had Delirium Blades with me, and we had a lot of fun. K Mega was sick at that point though, so like, man, he was a trooper. He stayed with us till the end, even though you can tell he just wasn't feeling it that day. Yeah.
Yeah. My only problem is with completing stories. Like right now, there is so many games coming out. All right. So it's like you have to pick and choose what you're going to play, who you're going to play with. And it's a lot of stress for me. Like, I know this sounds stupid. It's like, it's stressful for me to even decide what game I'm going to be playing. Um, with the limited time that I do have, I want to play everything and I can't. So I don't know. We got some decisions to make. And I feel like this is one of the games that I'm definitely going to play, but I can't promise that I'm going to give it all the attention that it deserves.
Well,
no promises.
ever since the demo was open to everybody, I believe more information came out on this game, and it's information that has me a little concerned. Now, Dark said the demo kind of like had a lack of content, right? I'm hearing that with kind of like the end game, that once you get through the story and stuff, and you're out there and you're just trying to grind for better gear and pimp out your javelins, all that good stuff. I hear, first off, there are no raid type events. There are 3 strongholds to go after. And I'm hearing, instead of, at least for the foreseeable, the near future after release, that's pretty much what they have. And the way that you get better gear is doing the same events over, but at a harder difficulty. Like, once you beat the story, more difficulties pop up, and you go in with the same stuff, the same kind of like events, but harder difficulties, and they have a chance to drop better gear. I'm a little concerned about that.
And that's that's very concerning to me, because of the fact that, if it's only 3 strongholds, that's gonna get boring as fuck right away, dude. People are gonna get to that end game and be like, this is it, this is all we can do. I mean, yeah, granted, the world is open and you can go around and just farm in the open world, the free game, or free play, or free roam, I mean. And you can just do that, and you'll probably get a lot of materials from that. But if you really want to get like really badass weapons, and you got to play those over and over and over again, and we also don't know like how the drops are going to work. If are they going to drop exotic weapons when every time that you
there's
do that, like, are they going to drop
there's percentages that get higher with the higher the difficulty. Like, you have like a 1.4% chance on normal difficulty to get an exotic, and that'll jump up if you go to a harder difficulty level, and and it keeps getting better the harder you make the game. Is basically what it is.
Okay. I can see that, but I think a lot of people are going to get burnt out on it like right away, unless the story is longer than what I'm thinking it's going to be. Because I was talking to the Don and Mega, and we were kind of talking back and forth about how long would the story be, and Don kind of predicted it to be typical campaign, maybe 10 to 15 hours, somewhere around there, and I was looking at it more as like maybe a 30 to 40 hour campaign, which I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping I'm right on that one. I'm hoping it's not 10 to 15 hours, because if it is 10 to 15 hours, and then you're getting into the strongholds, and then you're going and doing that repeatedly, that's gonna get very boring very quickly. Especially if it's only gonna take you like maybe a couple days to do the story, and then you jump right into the strongholds and start doing the harder strongholds. Dude, I'm telling you right now, that's gonna really get people to be like, yep, I'm moving on to something else, or I'm gonna.
Well, shout out to LG Nemesis. Like I said, he is definitely one of those. He's part of the foundation of this channel, and he said that it's not just strongholds, But we're freelancers in the game, and there are contracts that we can go out and do as well. And see, that's what I was hoping for. I know BioWare is not Bungie, so I don't expect them to have kind of like the same structure that Destiny 2 would have. And I wanted to know if there was something there to maybe replace the Nightfalls or the Strikes and stuff like that, and have you coming back.
Well, that's what strongholds are. They're the Strikes of Destiny 2. That's kind of what they are. So I mean, it's definitely has, I could see where people kind of correlate it with Destiny. Kind of correlate it with Destiny because of the fact that it is futuristic. It is something that kind of reminds people of Destiny, but in a third-person aspect. So I can kind of see, if he's right, if LG Nemesis is right, then and we do have more than 3 strongholds. That's fantastic. That's awesome. But if he's wrong and we only have 3, then it's gonna be bad. But I also think that well, like you were saying with BioWare not being Bungie, that's great because Bungie has kind of taken Destiny into a whole nother type of territory that I don't really want to discuss because it's it's not my preferred territory for.
Well, I hear we talk too much about Destiny 2 on this channel anyway, so what? We haven't talked about. I don't believe that's true, by the way, but yeah, no, Bungie, in my opinion, they went completely back to Destiny 1. That's why I haven't played it in a while.
Yeah. It's not how we really want it to be, but I think if BioWare kind of gives us that story plus gives us the end game content, because I mean we haven't really seen the end game content of Anthem. They're kind of keeping a lot of their cards under wraps. They're kind of peeling it. It's like putting a card, like a playing card, in a bunch of different boxes, one size bigger than the other.
Oh, like one of those Russian dolls that keep going into each other?
Right, something like that, and they're just kind of like peeling it away here and there and trying to show us, bits and pieces, but I haven't seen too much to where I'm like, oh my god, I'm super excited, I have to get this. It's something that I'm, super, hyped about. It's almost kind of like more. It's kind of more like, yeah, it might be good.
We'll see. I mean, let's be honest here, Dark. You are a gamer from a different cloth in a lot of aspects. You don't necessarily go with what the trend is.
But looter shooters are my thing, though, man. That's the problem, is that it's not grabbing me like I think some other looter shooters are or have been in the past. So it's like it sucks. But when I was playing with Mega and Dawn, it was so much fun. Like we had a lot of fun. Like playing by yourself, it's not as fun. Like I'm telling you right now, guys, you are not probably gonna want to play this game by yourself at all. Even though they say like you can, you're probably not gonna want to do it because it's not as
At the end of the day, we're gonna see when it comes out. I believe. Oh snaps! This is a game we're in agreement on that we're probably gonna get.
I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, see, I was concerned, but when Nemesis in the chat talked about contracts, you know me, my imagination just kind of goes wild sometimes. And I'm thinking about contracts bringing you to different areas in the map that you didn't necessarily know were there.
Let me put it this way, Bot. Did you enter the giveaway?
I didn't know I could.
Oh. Well,
see?
It's the thought that counts out.
But I can, and then I can just give you the code.
Hey, you're not going to give it to Xbot. I'll kick your butt. No way. Xbot's not mooching this one. No,
you said you already did too much when you hooked me up with Final Fantasy and Battlefield, all right? So...
I mean,
look at that. I remember, brother. I remember.
I understand. Yeah, I get it. That's
No,
awesome.
this is definitely something I do want. Like I said, the problem is there's so many games coming out. Like I have what's that game? New Dawn. Fucking
Far
I can't
Cry.
think. Far Cry New Dawn. I have the deluxe edition pre-ordered. So it's just so much. And then Crackdown 3 and
Well, we don't have to buy
like I
Crackdown.
really
We don't
want
have to buy
Anthem.
Crackdown.
Well,
True story. So that'll
well,
be there anytime.
but let me ask you a question then. Do you think Anthem will be kind of it'll get that treatment like almost kind of like Titanfall 2 did, where it was in the middle of two very, big type of releases coming out, like because what you're talking about is like Crackdown 3 and Metro Exodus, and then
Yeah,
the following couple weeks, I think it's uh Devil May Cry 5 and Division 2. So it's like, do you think
jump
Anthem's
starts
gonna get
so much.
what do you think Anthem's gonna get kind of trapped into that like Titanfall 2 type of space?
Yeah, it very well may. I mean, it's gonna have people playing it. It's gonna build a following, but the problem is the timing. Do you remember like what was it, a year or two ago where everyone's complaining like, "Oh, there's no games, there's no games." And we're like, "Shit, we have so many games to play." And then
Yeah.
now I feel like I'm over encumbered with
Ooh.
games and they need to space it out a lot more than they are. Like, they're going to do a lot better with sales if they just wait. But then if they delay it, everybody's going to have a fucking cow. So it's like, they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. And, there's no winning, honestly.
When it comes to the whole being stuck in that whole Titanfall 2 space, I really don't see... This game's already got a big name to it. There's a big developer behind it that people have wanted a game from, for a long time in BioWare. And I feel like, if anything, it's set up to succeed, before release. It's whatever the game is after that in terms of, popularity and stuff like that. I don't see it kind of being crunched in with the other games. I feel like this game might be one of the diamonds in the rough in comparison when it's all said and done.
Well, not only that, it's completely different. Like Titanfall 2, it kind of got shit on a little bit. I didn't support the game only because I played Titanfall 1 and I just wasn't interested in it.
Though.
Like,
well, it was also put in between two shooters as well, and there's plenty of other type of games coming out with Anthem. So I agree. I don't think that this game's gonna get stomped on at all. I know a lot of people are saying in the chat like, this game's not gonna get stomped on.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? I know it's not. Like, I know
I think
it
it's
won't.
gonna do well.
I think it'll do well. I think a lot of people will play it. I think a lot of people will enjoy the game. I just don't know how longevity it will have.
Well, yeah,
I don't know how longevity it'll have. That was funny. No, I totally hear you with that, Dark, because I mean, we're so like everybody is just so like ready for the next big thing, like we don't even take time to complete our games. I know there's like a lot of people who do, but more so than not, there's people who don't, and then you got all these free to play games in between. So it's like, holy shit, what do we do? Because if a new game comes out, like Apex Legends came out, where did Mel go? Right over to Apex Legends.
Yeah, but I think you were thinking about playing PUBG tonight, though, right?
Yeah, no, because what had happened was I asked Chelsea if she wanted to play PUBG because I don't even remember the last time I've played. I think it was when a day after we did the Protect the President. But then I just texted her. I'm like, hey, let's play Apex Legends. So, I don't know. It's easy to forget about, one game when you have all these other games. And I guess it really depends at the end of the day on your preference, and if, like a lot of people, they rely on either gaming news and you can find a lot of biased news. And then, you got the streamers, and I totally recommend that people check out their favorite streamers and see what they think about it. But at the end of the day, you got to form your own opinion and decide like, hey, I want to buy this game. And I know a lot of people are going to want to buy this game. It's a lot of fun. It's different. Yeah, it has its similarities to Destiny 2, but it's definitely a different type of game. Like, look at this javelin just flying around. Like, how cool is that? Like, the flying, it makes me so happy to like dive straight down to the ground. It's my favorite
Nice.
thing.
Yeah, and it's completely a different type of looter shooter too. You know, it's not
Mhm.
it's not your typical type of looter shooter where you kind of like go in, you grind and grind and grind. It feels like more like a like there's more
Exploration.
um exploration involved. Yeah, like where you're kind of like you're almost forced to not do so much of the um story stuff, but to go in and really go into free roam and kind of get these materials to build more weapons and build armor up and things like that. So I can kind of see that aspect, and that's fine and dandy. But I think, you know, it's just it's there's something about it that I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know, because I feel like I've been burned before by, you know, looter shooters. I'm not saying I've been burned by EA or BioWare, because I don't think I've been burned by BioWare. I have been burned by EA, but that's a whole nother story. I mean, that's
Everybody,
that
everybody
happens
has
to
been burned
everybody.
by EA at some
Every
point in time.
Right. Everybody's been burned. So it's just like I'm hoping that this game is good. I'm really hoping that they have a lot of content for people. I just don't know if it's enough to keep people going back to it, because as looter shooters, as you know, like they have to have something there that keeps you coming back. they it's just something about the getting the loot, you know. For a lot of us, it's
Oh
the
yeah,
loot.
because
um
usually
but
when
for
you get
some
the
people,
legendary weapon, though, usually there's some type of added perk. There's some type of way it takes out
right,
enemies that's truly unique in comparison to the regular kind of random roll weapons that you get.
right, and for some people though, it is other things like, you know, PvP, and this game doesn't
At
have
least not
PvP
at
off the
launch.
gate, and not at launch, and that could possibly hurt it in the long run, or, you know, it could possibly hurt it day one, because a lot of people I know who are out there, they love playing PvP, where they like to go in and they like to shoot each other up, and,
It's a
you know, like
change of
Destiny,
pace, man. Is
a
what it
lot of the
is.
Destiny players, that's what they. Right, and a lot of the Destiny players, that's what they do. They go into the multiplayer, the Crucible, and they just wreck. And, you know, this game doesn't have that, so it's kind of like,
I think what Nemesis said, like I said, he had my imagination going. My only other concern, which is kind of like a small concern, because it's still, no matter what difficulty I want to play on, there's still a percentage where, you know, I might get one of those legendaries. I might get one of those top tier either you know, weapons or something like that I would want. Is the whole kind of like just recycling events and stuff like that.
Excuse me, Xbot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think Supersonic Station would like an invite.
Go ahead and send them one if you want.
That was a no, Supersonic Station.
Okay, there you go.
Get an invite.
It's up. We'll leave it up to O Snaps right there.
Damn.
But and since you chimed in at the perfect time, I do want to give a shout out to Cali Rex in the chat. What is up? Saying Xbot, what is up? I wanted to, you know, shout you back, man. But yeah, that's my only concern, is kind of like, you know, hiring the difficulty, because I like going into different spaces. But I guess, you know, I was a Destiny 2 person. I was going into strikes repeatedly every week. I guess it's not that big of a deal, you know?
but we also don't know that if we do the higher difficulties, will it change certain aspects of that level, you
That's
know,
a great
or
point as
certain
well.
aspects of that stronghold.
Yeah, change it up,
You know.
man. All of a sudden you got different enemies. You have
Yeah.
different paths, stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
guess we really won't know, because, like you said, they've kept the end game kind of hidden from people, and I actually like that, because like when you first go into a game, you and that mechanical keyboard, lady.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry.
when you first go into game, like Destiny 2, I went in and I played the story first and foremost, and that's what got me hooked into that game. we get Anthem, the first thing I'm gonna do is go into kind of like the story, the mainstream missions, see what is unfolding in this world, how they're kind of like developing the universe, and then go do extra stuff, you know, after I get a good feel. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
I think with that aspect, it's gonna have me playing enough. Now, the only thing is, like, how quick are they gonna start adding stuff to it? But that seems to be a this generation type deal. Everybody's always wondering, yeah, well, I'm gonna get the game, but when are they gonna add more stuff? And the game isn't even released yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think a lot of that is because people rush through like the campaigns of these types of games, and then they're like, they get to the end game, they rush to get to the end game, and then they're like, oh, there's nothing here to play, you know? And it's like, well, if you took your time and you actually just, you know, went in and played, you know, here and there, and then, you know, took your time with the story and really got yourself invested into it, I think you would have a little bit more of a longevity with games like this.
All right, man. All right.
Xbot, I'd like to publicly apologize. Supersonic Station was saying send me an invite to Apex Legends, not to the show, and I'm sorry, and I hate apologizing.
That's all right. We didn't want him on this show anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I was just trying to be nice
Yeah.
since he's part of the CCC family.
No, he's gonna be an asshole and join anyway since I did
Why'd you do that?
Yeah. No, it's,
I thought that's what he wanted.
No, if he joins, great, awesome.
We'll mute him. I was gonna say block him.
We'll mute him.
Oh, I
Dang,
remember when
that's
Snaps
sad.
used to have the power of the mute in the Hangout, and like the remember when they used to have like the little kind of like music and sound effects and stuff like that, going way back there. But yeah, she used to control all that. She used to be like donging people, and it was crazy.
Dong. I've been
Dong.
donging people.
Now she's the queen of the
Yes,
mechanical
as you can
keyboard.
hear, as everybody in the chat can hear as well. Yo, give a number 1 if you love, in the chat, give a number 1 if you love the mechanical keyboard.
They love it.
But guys, on that note, I think, oh my, we'll just wait. We'll just wait. Okay, are we?
See all those ones? They love
That's
the
all by
mechanical
one
keyboard
person.
bot.
Two.
Oh, two.
Supersonic said no. See? All right. Well, all right.
I'm done.
And I think we're done pretty much talking about Anthem right now. You guys ready to move on to the next game?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we definitely talked
I
enough
got some
about
support in the chat.
And the only thing I do want to say about Anthem is that I am gonna get it day
Dude,
one.
after all that, you're like,
that'll be
dude, after all that, you're like, yeah, I don't know, and this and that, and then like right before we move on to the next game for the topic, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get it day one, man.
He's gonna get a day one.
No, because I'm a looter shooter type of guy. Like I love looter shooters, so like I know I'm gonna get a day one because I'm gonna be like, man, I want to play a looter shooter. So I know myself already. Like I'll talk shit about it, but then I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get it anyways. You know, like a loser that I am.
It's like
you know?
EA
I'm
has
just gonna
burned me
do
so
it.
much,
Why
but
not?
you know what? Looter shooter, I'm there. You know, $60. Here you go.
Exactly, dude. $60, take my money, thank you.
Well, on that note, let's get into the next subject, and of course, it is another game. Let's talk about The Division 2.
I'm just here for Crackdown. I'll be
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be here. I will definitely. If you're not back in time, I'll let you know.
I want to talk about Crackdown.
That'll be
next.
after this one. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
It would definitely be after this one. This one should take at least an hour to talk about because.
I'll post it by then.
No, we won't go too in depth with this one.
I
but,
thought this is the one you actually really wanted
yeah.
to talk about, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm just going to throw kind of like my history with the Division into this, like building up to the, opinions about Division 2. I just want to let people know, me and Snaps, we played Division 1. I do remember she did a drunk stream at one point in time.
I did.
She was ninja rolling all over the place. That That game was such an
Awesome.
awesome game. The atmosphere, just being able to look around and kind of see New York in that situation, you know, garbage building up on the sides of the streets. You have different kind of like gang members, different factions wandering around. It was really an immersive environment. The only thing that really took me away from Division 1, and it literally stopped me from playing the game, was the fact that everybody on my friends list that was playing was a higher level than me. And instead of like coming in and possibly playing the game and kind of catering to the fact that, you know, I am a lower level, they just wanted me to hang back while they took care of all the enemies and everything like that. And that completely turned me off to the game.
That was a huge problem with the Division 1. That I'll give you that one. That happened to me too, where I went into a game with a couple of buddies and we were just like, they were way higher level than I was, and then all of a sudden it was just like I was a high level, but I wasn't as high as they were. But I was still getting like my shit rocked because they were fucking, they were like so high level, and then the enemies were at a high level, and it was just
the people in
it
your
wasn't
squad were
good.
at a higher level. Then all of a sudden it bumped up the enemies to the point where it was like you were shooting like spitballs at them instead of bullets. You know what I'm saying? You weren't doing anything to the guys. And that was really frustrating, but I really love the atmosphere. I did play this demo for a little while. As you can see, I have gameplay as well. This is the beginning of the demo, and I gotta say they still have that atmosphere for me. What they did with Washington D.C. looks absolutely incredible, and it's not during the winter now, so you actually have like green plants and stuff. There's a bigger kind of like color palette when you just kind of look around the areas and stuff. I really got into the aesthetics, but I know Dark is he's chomping at the bit right now, man. So when it comes to this, have you played the demo to Division 2, Dark?
Dude, I played 11
hours, really?
11 hours, dude. I absolutely I loved the first division. Like, it was awesome. That first, like, maybe month or so where I was just playing it, you know, pretty much almost nonstop. And it really was like, oh man, but I wanted so much more from it that I just stopped playing it because it was just it wasn't giving me what I wanted. And this one is going to give me what I want. I believe it will, because of the fact that they added PvP to this one, with the skirmish and domination. So it's definitely, from what I played, it was so much fun, dude. I mean, again, went in there with Don and K Mega, and we played it, and Dom was a lower level than us, but he was still rocking it, dude. He was still killing the enemies, still, you know, doing things that we were able to do. Yeah, he was dying a lot more than we were, than me and Mega were, but he was still able to get into it and actually play it. He still had those mixed, you know, feelings about it. I know from what he was saying in the chat when we were talking. But he seemed like he was kind of enjoying himself. But for me, dude, fucking Division 2 is gonna be a day one buy. I'm contemplating on if I want to buy that $250 freaking
wow,
special
you're
edition
in like that. You're in like that, like
I'm in like that because I enjoyed the first one, and I like the tactical shooters that are out there. So I kind of enjoyed Ghost Recon Wildlands. I mean, this is definitely what I wanted Ghost Recon Wildlands to be, you know, in terms of just I don't know what it is about the Division that just gets me so hyped for it, but like you were saying, the atmosphere, the gun mechanics, the the sound of the sounds of the guns just sound more meatier this time around than the first one. Yeah, there were
I
some
was
bugs.
gonna, I was
here
letting
and
you roll, but like when you said sounds, I was like, man, I saw a lot of people talking about bugs with that.
There was a lot of sound bugs there where it was like you would be shooting and then like 5 seconds later the sound would come in where you hear the bullets coming out of your gun. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, it was it didn't stop me from playing it. It was just like, oh man,
Well, it's a good thing they didn't label this a demo, huh?
Right, exactly. If they
then I'd be outraged, man. Outraged right now if they did that, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people would probably be
in the terms of lower powered people, because as you're talking, I'm also checking the chat, and I had to go back up there. First off, huge shout out to the almost 80 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much for the support. I hope you are entertained with the topics we have here. These are topics that we could not get to this past Saturday, and we felt really strongly that we still wanted to talk about it, and we couldn't wait another week. So here we are live right now. But Timothy Dixon, in terms of having, you being a lower kind of like power level, character level or whatnot, he said that they fixed that, and this time around you'll be powered up to kind of like your friend's level as you're going in together. So I'm wondering if they're like, kind of like behind the scenes, you have your core level, and as you're playing, possibly build that up. But since you're playing with people that are higher level, they just kind of temporarily boost you up. But
I did notice that with the Don and Mega, because I was at level 7. I think me and Pred was playing with us too, and we were at level 7, and they were still at like 3 or I think Don was like 2 or 1 or 2, and then Mega was at 3, and then like as soon as they jumped in and we started like a story mission, it bumped him up to like level 6 or something like that, somewhere around there. It was interesting. It was kind of cool to see that happening. It's the game is. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving it, but it does have its problems. It does have some bugs from the beta where I hope gets ironed out, because me and Mega and Don, when we were playing, I was crashing left and right. We were
did you say the Mega like 5? Did you say the word Mega like 5 times in the mirror? Because I believe our brother from the 405 is here right now. Okay, Mega, can you hear us?
He doesn't even say nothing. He's just like, nah, I'm good.
He's gonna hang back behind the scenes, and if
I can hear you, but I'm trying to get my headphones.
I thought you were just going to stay behind the scenes, and if I say something messy, that's when you were going to like spring up and try to catch me out, because
and that's the only time throughout the demo that I had a crash, was when I was playing with friends, and it was like that's weird to me, because when I was playing it solo, it was like, oh, okay, it's fine, it works fine. I maybe had one crash where it was like it was because I was playing it for so long, and then I looked it up online, and they were like, yeah, it's gonna crash if you play it for this many hours or whatever, which is understandable because it's a beta. I'm gonna give that a pass. But I think, if it comes out and it has these same problems, I think a lot of people are going to leave it and drop it like a hat. Like they did with the first one.
Well, with you saying that you didn't have any problems when you were by yourself and the problems kind of kicked in.
Okay, I'm here.
All right, brother. Yo, what is going on, Mega?
Right. Nothing. Other than me going here to terrorize white people because I got called racist not too long ago from somebody that's supposed to be a PlayStation journalist. It's pretty funny. I couldn't. I just wanted to come and tell you guys #SaveLock and get the hell out of here.
Are you? I was saying, are you playing? Like, did somebody really say that about you?
No. I posted on Twitter. What dude just said he exposed me, and I'm bringing racial culture politics into gaming, and I was like, what?
Well, we all know that you don't like white people because you say that we're ashy, and we're not ashy.
You bastards are ashy. Yes.
We have
Rash, you
we have
just
dry
can't see it.
skin. Dry
Right,
skin.
you just can't see it.
What's up,
It's
K-Mega?
dry- It's dry skin. Thank you. See, Snaps knows. So,
Well, she
Oh, my
watched
God.
the
Anyway,
Bill Burr
you know.
skit
Go
as
ahead. What was
well,
you gonna
so
say?
that's why. Now, well, we're going in. We already talked about Anthem, so I don't know if you have any thoughts you want to share on that. We talked about, you know, kind of like possible concerns with only having 3 strongholds at the end game. There was Nemesis in the chat who's been killing it in the chat tonight. Said that there's also contracts as well. And when he said that, my imagination just started wandering. I was like, yo, that'd be a good way to, like, you know, get people to explore this part, like, that they might not have explored in the map, and find new things to do, new areas and stuff like that. So I'm kind of on board with it. What do you think when it comes to Anthem? Is this a day one buy for you? Is there any concerns for the full release when it comes out, man?
Yeah, no, I already got it. And then I got fortunate to get it for free on PC, because when I got that 2060, they had a promotion to where they'll give Anthem for free. So yeah, no, I'm all in. I already got the I paid for the legendary or Legion, whatever the $71 version.
Legion of Dawn edition.
Yeah, the Legion of Dawn edition. Yeah, I
think if me and Osnaps get it, I think we're going standard, right? Right, Osnaps? Okay.
Yes, we are.
It's only like what, $20 more?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's only $71. Because you guys got EA access, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Because
how many subscriptions you want me to have, brother? I'm saying. Yeah. All right.
Subscriptions.
You know, Supersonic would love to hear that, but.
Oh man, Brian is stupid. Delirium.
I know. I saw that. I was just like, oh man.
We got the black tiki torches ready. We coming.
Tiki torches.
No.
Oh wow.
All right.
Oh man. Afro's picks,
and tiki torches. I don't think they all go together, but
they don't. But
you know, K-Mega can make it work. Yeah.
I want to make it work.
But then we moved on to the Division 2, and I kind of shared. I like kind of like the time of the I guess you could say the time of year that it is, because it's not winter anymore. It's a lot more colorful. There's a lot more things going on. The deers like running down like the abandoned streets and stuff like that. Really cool aspects. I feel like when it comes to the Division franchise, I feel like the city itself becomes its own character in that game. Like, I love just like going down all the different streets and seeing exactly how they recreated the city, but the city that's going through what it's going through. You know what I'm saying? Being taken over and all that stuff.
Well, the devs did say that this is a very close one-to-one of Washington, D.C. So this is like the closest they've ever been with a city, a map of a city in a game at Ubisoft.
See, that's cool. That's freaking cool right there. But Mega, when it comes to Division 2, you already got, you know, you got the PC version of Anthem, and you pre-ordered the console version. I'm believing it's on Xbox, right?
Yeah. No, it's on PlayStation. I'm just playing.
Hey, I gotta ask you, man. You have no idea where K-Mega's gonna be from week to week, even though.
That's true. He's like, I'm on PC, guys. I'm on PlayStation. I'm on Nintendo Switch.
No, he didn't get a
Maybe.
Switch yet.
I don't know.
Yeah,
no, I don't got the Switch yet.
I swear his girl is gonna like choke him out in his sleep one day because he didn't get the Switch yet. But
dude, she gonna choke you, man. I'm telling you.
I got her a TV, man. You know what I'm saying? So
You're like, babe, I'm sorry, I can't get you a Switch.
I'm buying everything else
better.
except for a Switch.
A 4K TV that's more expensive.
Right.
Yes.
So, K-Mega, what are your thoughts on the Division 2? I heard that you got into the beta. You were playing with Dark and the Don. And first off, I got to give you a lot of respect for playing with the Don. He has a tendency to just go off and do his own thing. So if you can actually get through missions with the Don, dude, you earned respect there.
This time he was kind of more on a leash, and we kind of like just drug him around. And,
he was also when he tried to go out and do he tried to get out there and try to be adventurous. He got his ass lit up. So So he stayed with the crew because once we start getting further into the different missions, like we were doing a couple of little side missions, and we were getting through that. We were feeling ourselves like, yeah, we over here, we the team. The next thing you know, we started getting into the real missions, and man, it started getting more hectic, and it was.
Especially that last mission, right, Megan? That one wrecked us, dude.
Yeah, that was it. That's the one that took us to bed, because that was tough. Like, hey man, I'm done. I can't go no further. It was almost 3 a.m. My time. So it was pretty gruesome, man. We played, but yeah, no, everybody was enjoying it. I know that that it had its issues. The sound would mess up, things like that. I think that I'll take care of it squared away. I'm pretty sure that it's an always online game, so it's gonna have some kind of technicalities. But as just for me, what I'm expecting about the game, it's 10 times better than the first one, and I know life's the first one. So this game is everything that I wanted and more. And good grief, it's just another game that's going to be played, and there's going to be some games that's going to be on the back burner. Sorry, King. All right,
no.
I don't blame you, Mega. But to speak on a little bit more of what we experienced, I noticed that when me and Mega and Don were playing, the enemies became kind of bullet spongy when we were all together. Not so much not as bad as the Division 1, where it was just like you really felt like you weren't taking out guys, but there was times where it felt kind of like a little bit here and there with some of the enemies were bullet spongy, like the purples and the golds and the yellows. Those enemy types were kind of a little tanky. But the red enemies they just the generic enemies that you come at you and stuff, they were just easy. They were easy to plow down, and so I never felt that I was like running out of ammo or felt like I needed more ammo or asking teammates to give me ammo or whatever.
Yo, Dark, I gotta ask this, all right? And like I said, I played the Division 1. Unfortunately, with what they were doing before they fixed all that, being lower level, everybody else higher level, and telling, being told to hang back, it just got me to stop playing the game. But what is the deal with this whole kind of like sponginess? Because I didn't have a problem with that in Division 1. I thought that was just an element of the game. Of course, the boss is going to come out more armored up.
The sponginess was the fact that dudes in hoodies were coming out with no armor on it and just wrecking you every single time. So I think a lot of people were kind of upset.
Did you really
have
a problem with that though, man?
I didn't, because when I was playing it, I was loving the game. I love looter shooters, so it wasn't bothering me, because I know how those games work. Because you have your tanky type of enemies, and then you have your more lower enemies where you have to take them out, with their size, with their length, but it takes a while for you to take them out. It's kind of like if you ever play Fallout, like there's times where you go up against a certain enemy and it takes you a little while to kind of take them out. It's similar to that, so I never really understood why people were complaining about that when you see it in other games, but they were like, oh, it's like this in this game. I don't like it. So I never.
All right. Well, Mega, on that note, because you no life Division 1, did you have a problem with what everybody calls the sponginess, or did you just feel like that was another kind of like unique? It's just a signature on the game.
Yeah, no, I like
Me too,
it.
Man.
I don't know. Maybe that's just one of. Yeah, I do. I love it. I think. Just like with Anthem, you fighting a big boss and it takes a while to take them out. I mean, right now when I'm playing Odyssey or when I played Origins, you fight some enemies that's pretty tough, and especially if you play it on a harder level, they take a minute to take down. And so I mean that to me is what is all. Instead of you just using a gun, you hacking and slashing, and you keep hacking and slashing. It's no different than God of War when you're playing going against the Valkyries. You got to hack the hell out of those chicks. So I mean, it's just so many it's so many games. I mean, I dig that. I don't ever have a problem with it. I like the challenge. With Destiny, that was never the problem for me. Was going and fighting enemies that were like twice as strong as me, and it might take a while. It was the satisfaction of making sure that enemy got taken out. With my, the whole spongy thing about it is I like the fact that they changed it up and made it like tiers, because in the old one, in old division, they everybody was like all gold, and now you have lesser, you have a lesser and a mid tier, and like those crazy chicks with the that comes after you and try to with the batons, they're problems. And then you got a big boss that's gold and it's got armor and all that. I mean, I dig that. I like that because it makes for a better strategy amongst the team.
I got you.
No. I also want to say that I, like I said before, I think a lot of it was just the look of the enemies, not so much as them being spongy. I think a lot of people just had a complaint of, why is this guy in a hoodie shooting me and I can't get him? And I don't see why that was such a big problem, because that wasn't really a bad thing. I don't think. I think it kept you wanting to beat the shit out of that guy. I just
the whole thing with Division 1, there was in the enemy's life bar, it was a certain color and it had a number to it. So, like, to me, it wasn't I looked at how the enemies were dressed in terms of the aesthetics of the environment you're in. But when I saw enemies from a distance, I wasn't looking to see if they were in a hoodie or anything. The first thing I was looking for was their life bar, to see what color it was, and to see, what number character that is. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. You were looking at the fact that, oh, this is a boss. You knew it was a boss when it came out with the yellow. When you saw the yellow, you were like, that's a boss. I gotta kill that guy. That's where I'm gonna get my loot. You weren't thinking about his.
Why is he wearing retro Jordan 1s? I mean, I could just shoot. I could shoot his feet there.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of people, is that they look too much at those types of characters instead of just thinking about it as being a boss.
I smell coffee. Coffee is being brewed in the house right now.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
Snap said she was gonna make coffee in the chat.
No, I didn't. But just to smell it, it's just it's happening. Snaps. When it comes to Division 2, did you get a chance to play the beta at all? No.
Nope.
Nope.
I had time, but I didn't, because I was playing
Apex
other things.
Yep.
She's like, I don't like games like that.
No, I do. The thing is, I do, but there's just so much to play. As I said before, I don't even know what to do with myself anymore.
Y'all talked about Apex?
No, I just said that she was playing Apex when this demo
I was
love it.
I was gonna say, I was wondering. That's like that would be more Snaps game.
Well, she got into Division 1, so I gotta ask, like, with Snaps, what you seen in terms of the gameplay and all that good stuff? Does this look like? Does it look like we're gonna be poor in February or not? Like, or February to March?
We're already poor in February, but what kind of question is that?
You mean are you gonna?
Yeah,
be poor
no,
in
that's
March
why I said
'cause this
February
game
and
comes out?
March. That's
Okay, so I don't think that's gonna be a day one buy, because I already played the first one, so I'm not in a rush to get that one. I have other games, as I said before, that I want to play. Between free to play and a couple of purchases, I gotta make tough decisions right now.
okay. All right. Well,
So Bot will be mooching this game. So anybody out there
I'll
that
be looking for
wanna
contests.
give,
How about that?
this
I'll be
game,
looking for contests.
definitely.
Okay. I want to win something. All right.
Oh, you want to win it? You don't want to mooch it, okay?
Yo,
That's fine.
I always enter a giveaway when a new game comes out, and I usually will, instead of going day one, unless it's something like I absolutely need, I will wait a little bit to see if I can win it.
Okay. I mean, that's cool. It's a
feels
little
like
extra fun in there, because if you win, then it's like, yeah! You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you guys think about the plans for Division 2 in terms of content coming out? They said they're fully supporting this the first year, and I think a lot of people in the community, they don't hear that first year part, because I'm hearing season pass after that and DLC and stuff like that. Well, what do you think about that, Dark?
Well, I think it's good. It'll get people to want to play the game for that year. I don't know anything after that if they want to play it. If they're going to do anything free. I know the dev did say that he worked really hard to get that free for us because of the fact that he didn't want to differentiate the player base, because a lot of players who didn't get the season pass were not getting some of the loot that was out there, not getting some of the other perks of the game. So it was kind of like, oh, you're kind of taking away a lot of the player base there. And with the content that they're bringing, it sounds great. I'm just still kind of like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be good enough for us to want to, keep continuing to play it? Because, they're saying they're going to bring in story content with each DLC, which will be free. I mean, there is a season pass for this game. There is, but you will be able to play the content 7 weeks before everybody else.
So you'll be done
so
with it.
Want to do
you'll
that,
be done with it when all your friends are jumping on it. Yeah.
Right. You can do that, but I think a lot of people are just going to go and probably get the free version. I mean, yeah, me and Mega probably won't be doing that because we're more of these type of games we gravitate towards. So it's for us, it's more like we want to get that day one. We want to get in there and get the loot and get the mechanics and everything like that. So I think the year one thing, it's great, but after that, there's going to be probably problems where people are going to be like, well, I got to pay for the DLC. So they're really going to have to address that early on, I think, with the second year
I think this
content.
is a stroke of genius, though, because if you look at it, they offer the content for a year, and they're talking raid type content as well as story and everything like that. They're really going in for that first year. By the time that year is done, people are going to be looking towards the next Xbox, the next PlayStation,
right?
And people will recommit themselves either playing it through backwards compatibility, or they will quite possibly come out with a version that will be boosted up. Like, you might have to buy the game. You might get it at a discount if you already owned it, on this generation of consoles. But it'll reinvigorate the fan base, and they already kind of like held their end of the bargain with free content, and so the whole season passes and everything like that will be in full effect, but people will be more engaged and more likely to buy it. That's what I see happening with this game.
Yeah, I could see that too. I think it's definitely genius for them to say, hey, our DLC is going to be free for the first year, and then I think when the second year comes around, I think a lot of people will either want to buy the season pass, or who knows, maybe Ubisoft and Massive Studios will be like, Massive might be like, hey, we're gonna give this year's DLC for free as well.
Ooh, I wouldn't put...
It just depends on how they feel. I don't think they will. I think they will charge you for it, that second year, because it just, by that point, I think a lot of people who have already played it will have played it, and the people who don't want to play it will just,
they're
go
already
and play
gone
something
on
else.
something else.
So,
yeah. All right, I got you. Yo, Mega, what do you think about the plans in terms of supporting this game? First year is free. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of people in the community, they kind of bypassed that. It said like first year. So second year, whatever content they come out with is probably going to be season pass or some type of DLC. I just now on this show, I kind of put it into where new hardware is coming out, and that's where I'm like, you know what, that was a freaking great idea. But what do you think about their plans going with supporting the game, man?
Well, they seen that they found something with what they did with the Division 1 by bringing in the content, and it's just something that they've been doing here lately with mostly all their games. I mean, they added like a year or two to Ghost Recon. They did the same thing with For Honor. They also have added a whole bunch of content to
Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six, yeah. So I don't think there's no hope for the Crew 2. Lord have mercy, that was a bad purchase.
Yo,
anyway.
Mega, I tried to warn you. Mega, I tried to warn you about that game, man.
Man, it was $24. I said, look, I'm pulling the trigger. I'm risking it all. I said, let's go.
Your brother won't let you buy Crew 2. That's how you know that's your brother right there, man.
I know, man. My bad. I was being hard-headed. Plus, I was a little tipsy, and I was like, "Go ahead, risk it all." Jesus. Anyway, but no, I think that the one caveat, which is really, really excellent in what they've learned, is that yes, they took a page from what Halo is doing. Is that look, and also I got to give a little credit to Battlefield 2, well, because their DLC is so, I'm not DLC, but their expansion pack or whatever is so cheap. It's like $5, $8 now to buy, that you don't have to leave people leaving gamers behind, especially when friends are playing and they're enjoying it, and then when you have one group that has these maps or whatever and these special perks, and then the other people don't, then that kind of leaves them like, man, I'm gonna just jump to the next game. So having that whole year of having just fresh content is a plus, because that's something that they didn't do with the first division. And on top of that, it keeps people more engaged. And like what you're saying with the new generation, I feel like it's going to be seamless. I don't think anybody's going to get charged unless they got the unless they didn't get the paid for the ultimate version. I'm just going ahead and paying the 116 because I know I'm finna play. Yeah, man. Look, I love the division. I think that these are the games that's right up my alley. Okay. I love that, and so I'm not going to do that for every game that I buy, but for the division, it has to get that dedication, because I want to really go through it and play it with as many people as I possibly can. Right. So.
Now let me ask you guys a question. Would you be willing for the second year to have it where you still get it for free, but if you want to play it 7 weeks or whatever early, you can buy the next season pass? Would you be willing to do that? Would you want to do that? I
wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't mind if that was the option. If that was the option, and I was still getting, still getting the content like a month and a half out, basically is what you're saying, like 6 weeks or whatnot. That would be cool for people who cannot wait, because I have a tendency to take my time on certain things. I know I put a lot of time in the games, and I eventually get everything I want, but I enjoy the experience. It's not about getting the stuff. It's about the entire kind of like trip, or the entire mission to get it, and I enjoy the game and everything it has to offer. So if it's like for people who can't wait, here's your content right now, you just gotta throw down this whatever amount of money, and for people who are happy kind of just getting in and getting immersed and having the content come a month and a half later, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, no, I don't either. But as for me, it's just like I'd rather.
Nemesis says it's 7 days early. That's even better.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Oh, okay.
That's not true.
He's messing with me, huh?
Not 7 days early. It's 7 weeks. Even the dev has said that it was 7 weeks. It's not. It's not. 7 days.
Wow.
Go on the website. You'll see
7 weeks makes more sense, by the way.
Right, and especially if you buy the Ultimate Edition, there has to be some kind of major reward, and that's the one thing. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that they might not have the Ultimate Edition included to the second year, and that would be kind of problematic for me, because I'm like, look, I spent $116, so you would think that they would have year 1 and year 2, and if they decided to have a year 3, then I wouldn't have a problem with going ahead and paying for that.
I think you're pushing your luck on that, though, man.
Well, no, I mean I could be wrong. Yeah, but I'm just saying it's got to be more than a year for me. I just they have like a year or two, and then they're saying, oh well, here's another $50. I'm gonna be deterred because I'm like, look, I mean, I am one of the one of the people that are the people that buys these ultimate editions and things like that.
Hold on, stop the presses. I have ESPN on right now, and they just showed a Xbox / Metro commercial. Oh, yes. My goodness.
The commercial looked dope. I seen it while I was watching the NBA game.
Are we seeing more commercials now? Like,
maybe they are listening to us, man. Maybe there are people out there that
exist, man. They do exist.
Yeah, and it's a dope commercial. Metro looks amazing in that commercial. Yeah, it looks really
my bad. I had to when I turned over. I saw the green screen and the Xbox. Like I put it all together. I'm like, yo, Metro Xbox commercial. That's amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's just the only setback that I have for the game, in my opinion, for right now.
You have a whole year to deal with it anyway, man.
Yeah, it's got a whole year to deal with it, but I mean, I am getting the Ultimate Edition. I did with the last one, and then all that other content that they dropped. It was a lot of content. Once they started dropping, it was just like 7-8 months too late. Then it was a year. What was it, like almost 2 years too late? So, I mean, I know that they're going to fix those issues and make everything run and work better. But man, they have to make sure that they balance it right for the people that are getting the deluxe editions, because the deluxe and premium editions, because those are the people that are really actually, I think, in my opinion, is getting the opportunity for gamers who just want to buy the standard that aren't going to get left behind.
I got you, man. Either way, unfortunately, with OSNAP saying this isn't a day one, I do want to get in and play this kind of like as soon as I can. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoyed the beta. I didn't have like all those glitches when it came to audio and stuff like that, but I wasn't really playing with other people. I went in myself and kind of really got immersed in the area that you're able to get into, because that's what I loved in the first division, man. Seeing New York City, the way that they did that, I was like, yo, this is one of the best kind of like environments I've seen in video games. One of the most like gritty, realistic. I just wanted to explore every inch of that map, and I feel like this one's the same exact way. But Dark, is there anything else you want to talk to about? Want to talk to the chat? Want to talk to us about Division 2?
I'm trying to find this freaking 7 weeks, because I heard the devs saying that it was 7 weeks, man. I'm telling you right now, that's probably what it's gonna be. But I'm not finding it on the website. But I listened to a podcast and he was saying 7 weeks before everybody else gets to play it. So
now that all depends on what podcast you're listening to. I'm just playing. But no, seriously. I don't know, man. We'll find it out at some point. Is there any?
I'm excited about it. I'm gonna be playing it day one. I'm definitely super excited because we get to, if you have the ultimate editions or you have any editions before that, you get to play it 3 days early. So that's a plus, especially for us looter shooter guys who like to play games day one. Well,
what, you never heard Donald Trump sing before? Come on.
Alert Xbot, the kids have no school
already?
Tomorrow.
I still want to put them in bed at regular time, but
damn.
But yeah, my bad. Before you were interrupted, go ahead, sir.
No, I'm definitely gonna pick this up day one. It's from playing the beta of this and then playing the demo of Anthem, I'm more inclined to get Division 2 than I am of Anthem at this point. I am going to get both, but I feel like Division 2 is going to be the game where I'm going to spend most of my time.
Well, you also, you basically know more about it. You know that there's content coming. They're supporting it throughout the year. There's
right.
if you have to weigh them both out, you automatically know that there's more meat on the Division 2 bone, and you don't really know what the end game really has in store for people when it comes to Anthem. So I can see that's pretty much a safe bet if you're looking at both of them.
Well, it's because I've already played the first one, so it's like I don't really know too much about Anthem, and they're really not giving us much, you know, and that's okay, that's fine, I like that, but I'm still skeptic on, you know, what they're going to be doing for us, you know, for that game.
I got you. Well, if that's all said and done, I know Snaps wants to get into this next topic, and I think you know, people in the chat, they are waiting to hear what we think about Crackdown 3 and the news that came out today. You guys ready to switch it over? All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, I got stuff to do.
Yeah, Ray's going to come out here in a little bit, you know.
All right, guys. Crackdown 3 for insiders has they just went through 2 rounds, well, 2 days, basically 4 rounds of stress testing. And if you were an insider, or if at some point in time you were an insider and you still had the app or you downloaded the app, you can get in and you can try it out. I know me, Snaps, I saw K-Mega. Me and K-Mega went against each other. I saw a lot of people in this game. Delilah HD, T Reaper was in the chat for our kind of like co-stream that we did between Mixer and YouTube and everything. And me personally, it was a lot of fun. Absolutely incredible, just getting you to think differently when it comes to multiplayer shooters. You know, you had to look up above you, behind you, around you, breaking line of sight, having buildings fall all around. It was really a blast to play. I think we're gonna go general thoughts on this, and then we're gonna hit like kind of like the latest news, because I think the latest news, man, it's got a lot of people shook. So let's go to Snaps first. Snaps, with the stress test, what were your thoughts about Crackdown before you played the stress test, and then did the stress test change your mind or get you thinking in a different direction after you played?
So honestly, after how many years waiting? 5 years? I've lost the care for the game. I really wasn't. I don't know. Like, I was looking forward to it, but not like I was like, all right, cool, it's going to be on Game Pass. I'm going to play it. But within that 5 years, you have to think about the fact that what kind of problems did they go through as developers? But on that same token, I was not really interested. Like, it was something that I wanted to play, but I wasn't going to go day one buy it if it wasn't on Game Pass. And then after I played the stress test, I had so much fun with so many different people. It was just unbelievable. Like, people sending me pictures that they're in a game with me and stuff. It was great. And I had so much fun and a great experience overall. Like, I was wowed. Okay. And yeah, I know you don't want me to go too much into detail.
We're going to talk about the news that dropped today as well. Yeah. So, Mega, we got a chance to go against each other. I believe you caught me twice. I caught you once.
Yo, Mega, he was talking so much shit.
You know, people were saying, right? And people were like, man.
Like, I'm going to get K-Mega. I'm going to fuck him up. What? Yo. Sorry. And then he was like, oh, man, K-Mega killed me. Sorry, bot.
I didn't drop the F-bomb like that. Like, I got to get Mega. Let's do this. We're going to get Mega.
K-Mega. You know that.
Right. I'll do a competition. I like it. He needs to get hyped like that more often when we in the chat. So anyway, but yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and I killed bot, and then next thing you know, I look and it's like 11-1. I'm like, what is going on? And I get killed by, and I guess I get killed by bot right there, and then next thing you know, I kill bot again, and it's like 22-4. I'm like, what's going on? We got slaughtered. So. You know, it was no competition. I don't know.
I was taking out your teammates too, man. Is what I was doing as well. So,
they were. I was over there trying to do something, and you know, it was a bloodbath. But anyway, I had to post it on Twitter of how great this game was. Well, I should say fun, not so much great in the sense of you graphically marvelous or nothing like that. It's just the game is just fun. It's what we play games for, is to be entertained. And this game was highly addictive. Just for the mere fact it has a Quake feel with a little bit of Halo and Overwatch to it to me. And just with the destruction and all that, I love, I'm a Battlefield guy, so I love the destruction. It just made me hungry for more, and then learning the combos of how to use your weapons, and then the fist pound, and then you got like a leg pound, and then using your special. It just felt good. It just felt fun. So I was nice. Highly impressed.
Now, Dark, did you get a chance to jump in on the stress test? Dark.
Sorry, dude. No, I didn't get to play it at all. No, I'm not an insider or anything like that, so I didn't get to play it. But I watched videos and stuff. I've watched enough to know that it's one of those games that I'll probably play when it hits Game Pass. So
see, and the thing with this, and you hear it in Dark's voice, like he doesn't sound as excited, and I think a lot of, like, even me, Snaps, K Mega, when it comes down to it, news broke basically late last night into today that I believe Sumo Digital came out and said that when it comes to this multiplayer 5v5 competitive PvP called Wrecking Zone, at least at launch, you will not be able to bring an Xbox Live party into the game. In other words, you can't get like 4 of your friends into a party when this game releases, get everybody together and go in as a squad. I gotta ask, like, Mega, what do you think about this, man? Like, in terms of multiplayer, is this a big setback for this game after playing it and feeling how fun it is? Like, how big of an issue is this that you can't bring your friends into a game?
I mean, this is a huge letdown. There's no doubt about it. I mean, out of everything else that I've heard, from what we've heard, because there's been so much stuff in regards to Crackdown. I mean, from the city not looking exactly like from what they showed the demo, and then just a delay after delay, and then this to me was probably one of the most.
This is the worst news out of any of it.
Yeah, in just a couple of days right before. So no, it's not a good look. I can say that one of the lead guys or artists for the game or whatever posted something just a few hours ago saying that they are working on it as we speak, and they'll have it patched, but it will be patched after the launch. So the question comes to, is this game going to get patched within enough time to where people can feel like, okay, well, that wasn't so bad, or are they going to bullshit it off and be like a month, and you know what I'm saying, and then nobody's playing this game. Nobody's playing the multiplayer because everybody else is playing something else. It's at the wrong time with all these hot games out to where they had a mishap like that, because it took like 3 steps forward with people out here like, wow, like when we were both streaming, there were a lot of people that was watching, and then they were like, man, I'm finna buy it. I would swear that they would I would put money on it. There was gonna raise money. Not raise money, but they were going to get sales on those games, maybe about 10 to 20%, because there was, for every person that was listening to chat or when they saw the gameplay on Twitter, there was so many people like, man, I'm going to go ahead and buy the game. I'm not even going to game.
Even Sony extremists, like, they would come into my stream, right? They would say one thing, like, this is trash. And usually they'll sit in there and they'll keep talking, they'll keep typing. They said one thing, and then you can tell, like, they sat and watched the game for a while, and they're like, "Oh shit," and they didn't say anything after that. Like,
right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had to go in and they had to still save face, but they were watching, and then they would, and they would say, "Oh, this game is trash," whatever. But then, why are you still watching if the game is trash? You see what I'm saying? So, it's like it's the game is really fun. It's really addictive. I think it threw everybody off. I mean, Lemon was over here. He was not excited about it. And then for all the negative.
I played against Lemon and he was on my team.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that. And like, he wasn't excited about because he fell into the whole trap of what a lot of other YouTubers and media has been saying negative about the game. So he wasn't expecting anything out of it. He was expecting it was going to suck. And next thing you know, he's screaming and whoa, yo, and it's so fun. So yeah, I mean, they took 3 steps forward, and now with that, they took like 5 steps back. So they better hurry up and get this fixed, or this multiplayer is going to be dead on arrival.
Dude, I think
this game's dead on arrival. I'm telling you that right now.
That is
thank
incorrect,
you.
sir.
You tell him, Snaps. You tell him now.
Yeah, the single player.
And here's why I think that it's because of the fact that it doesn't seem to me that it's going to gravitate to a higher player base than, say, other games in the Microsoft lineup like Halo or Gears or something like Forza. This is definitely for the fans. This is definitely for people who love Crackdown, and you guys, I know you guys love Crackdown. Crackdown's some of your
let me
favorite
correct
games.
you real quick. I've never played Crackdown before, other than one time, Crackdown either 1 or 2. So I really have zero ties to the game, and I freaking had a blast.
Ooh.
Okay, well, you're one person. I'm talking about in a majority of people who just didn't like the first
Snaps,
one.
I think he said your
the
opinion
second
don't
one.
mean nothing. I think that's what he said.
No, I'm not saying that because her opinion does mean a lot. It's just I think she's in a smaller category than most of these gamers out there who are just not like, like they're more like me, where it's like, oh, okay, I'll play it because it's in Game Pass and that's it. If I enjoy the game, then I'll eat my words and say it's a fantastic game. But I don't think I'm gonna enjoy this game at all.
Well, bon appetit, because you're gonna have fun.
Oh, well,
it's fun. It's simple. It's like I said, it's simplistic, like Overwatch. Overwatch is not hard,
but
to
it's
learn,
still strategic,
right?
and
but,
you can still.
Yeah, and the one thing that that was like a lot of people were starting to complain about. Was about the lock on, but it's so necessary, because if you traversing through the air and you can't have that lock on, it's almost impossible to keep a beat on somebody unless you're on the ground fighting. And there's so many different cool ways of trying to avoid people. Like, all you got to do is shoot a hole through the wall, jump down and shoot part of the building, go down in that hole, and then as long as you got your 5 seconds, you can recharge, or you could try to get one of those orbs so you can build your health back up. I mean, there's so many different strategies that I learned within just playing in those 4 hours, because I played earlier that day and then played last night. So it's really fun. It's refreshing because it's actually kind of new, and then when you actually see the destruction and everything's falling down, it also gives another element of excitement too, because you don't know when something's going to fall near you or fall around you, or who is going to be right there. It was just really fun to play, man.
I agree. I can't tell you how many times like a building fell on me and I'm like, oh my God, I can't get out of the debris right now. Like, I just had to figure my way out, and it's a lot of fun.
So when you guys were playing it, were you feeling the weight to the destruction and stuff like that?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Like when you were busting through walls, did it feel like you were like the guys at IGN who were saying it felt like cardboard or running through
feel like
paper
at all? But it didn't. I feel like if they added more vibration to your controller, that would definitely change the way the game feels. Like, I did feel it sometimes, but not all the time. Like, when the bridge is falling under me, I should have a vibration feel. Like, it doesn't feel like cardboard, but it definitely doesn't immerse you to that point where, like, you feel like, oh shit, this is happening, because you can see it happening, but like, if your controller isn't vibrating, and it could be because it is a beta, there may be more vibrations when the game releases, and it might feel a little bit different. But I don't know, there was so much shit going on at once that it just made it hard to focus on anything. Like, I don't even know what the people at IGN were talking about. They're out of their freaking mind because I had like a ridiculous amount of fun where I couldn't even focus on like one thing. I was just so much shit going on around you at all times.
Oh snaps! Now we were in the party together. We had a bunch of people. Yobi was there, T Reaper, Blades, Predator stopped in. So many people in the party chat, and people were talking about, oh, when this game comes out, we're getting together and we're doing a squad and stuff like that. So. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this announcement that, at least at launch, and I feel like it's going to be longer. I see people in the chat, it's like, yeah, it's got to be like 24 or 48 hours. I think there's an issue here with having the cloud destruction and having people come together on the same team. I think it's a regional thing, to be really honest with you.
Xbot, one of our biggest complaints, right, is our party chat. When we get 8 people in there, what happens? Someone gets kicked. When you get 9 in there, someone gets kicked. You have 16 people parties,
but you can only have 7.
And you can't even have.
But you can only have 7 stable. Like,
yeah. So when you take those people, you pull them all into a game. I mean, I don't know. I don't develop games, so I don't know the physics and what it's gonna take. But it seems like if they were to do that, perhaps there would be an issue with lag. I only experienced lag probably once, but at the same time, there is, I know it's not the same. Like, it's a disappointment, yes, but you have a bunch of 10 different people in there. Well, 9 if you don't count yourself. All right. So you have 9 people, and yesterday, for example, when we were playing, we went into the game and we were 3, 2, 1, go, and we would get into a game together. Not all of us.
That was a brilliant idea, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we were getting into games with people, but then even though we were in a party with certain people, we found other people in the gaming community, and we were going up against them. So in a sense, it's kind of bringing you together because we played with Delilah, all right, and I know I was attacking her. I'm like, hey, I'm over here, I'm gonna get Delilah, So in that sense, if we were in the game chat versus the party chat, that would have been like a different person that we were playing with, even though like we know her, but she wasn't in our party chat. So it would have completely changed the game each time, depending on who in the community was in there. True. I think it was awesome. I had a lot of fun. Yes, it's a disappointment, but I'm not mad. They are going to be fixing it because everybody's upset.
I'll let you know that right now. I'm upset about this. Like, when a game is 5 years in development, and I know there's people out there saying, well, they were just trying to get the game working and stuff. Before they announced that it was coming out this year.
But isn't that the best way to get people to play the game?
What? All right, but check this out. 5 years in development. You think that if you're having a multiplayer aspect to the game that you are heavily marketing, that you're talking about when you're talking about the game, you think you would have every base covered in terms of the standard for competitive multiplayer. And one of the standards is being able to go in with your squad and not just all randos. You think they would...
Okay, but then you would never play with anybody else. Like, all right, BZ said I played Delilah too, right? I was streaming and going up against BZ. You know what BZ was doing? He was waiting for the 3, 2, 1.
Oh, y'all did that too? Yeah, me and Lemon did that, and we got to play.
You guys were spying on me. No,
yeah, we got to play.
Great minds think alike. Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Yeah, so
and not every time, but it worked. And I might not have been in the party chat with BZ, but it was fun. Just chasing him around and chatting with him too. So I mean, it kind of changes the experience as a streamer because you could be playing with people that are watching you or not. Right. And I think it's different, but adjusting to it is not so bad because if not, then you're just going to play with the same people all the time, bot. And granted, yes, a lot of them are your friends, but how are you going to meet new people in the community?
I want a core group of people that I do play with, and yeah, when they're not around, I'll go into my friends. Let's see who's playing it. Jump into their party.
You gotta be social bot.
I am a social bot.
You gotta be social.
I am. But damn, But
I see where bots coming from.
I do too.
More of a dedicated player base to play with, you know, and that makes sense. Like I get that. Like this whole thing with the multiplayer, I'm sure they'll fix it. It'll get fixed. You know, especially if a lot of people are complaining about it, I'm sure they're gonna fix it.
Well,
it might not be day one, but
well, check this out, yo.
eventually.
P-Ro in the chat. Yeah, P-Ro, I'll get to you in a minute. Somebody has hit up the super chat. Gotham guy has hit up the super chat. Thank you so much for the support. He says it would have been smarter to release a full, robust campaign first, and then release the multiplayer once all the issues were fixed. And I
well, remember they were going to do that though, Bot, and then people
complain.
Yeah, people ripped them. Remember that was what they were
happy.
Yeah.
No one's ever fucking happy.
Well, that's true. Nobody's ever happy.
Well, that's that. I think that's the same thing with Anthem. People are complaining about it not having a PvP right out the gate. So it's like if a game doesn't have PvP right out the gate, people tend to complain about that, and it's understandable because PvP gives longevity to games.
Well, multiplayer in and of itself, something that's competitive that isn't co-op based or something like that. It gives longevity to a game. If you have a game with a story, a campaign that you can go in co-op or whatnot, that multiplayer aspect, that competitive aspect is what drives the game to last longer, because there's only so many times you're going to go through the story, whether by yourself or with different friends on your friends list. You're not going to go through it like 50, 80 times or whatnot, and there needs to be another reason to keep playing. My whole thing is, like, this is such an integral part to competitive multiplayer. Like, do you mean to tell me nobody at, like, Sumo Digital, nobody at Xbox said, hey, what's going on with parties and getting, people's friends involved and stuff like that? And if they knew that wasn't coming along, I am a fan of transparency. Let people know what the deal is with the release of the game, instead of people figuring it out through the stress test and having to ask question after question.
No, that's not. No, they found out through Discord, through the Discord. They're the ones that said it first last night.
Okay.
They're the one released it, and then somebody just spread the word. But from Discord,
but it was Sumo Digital's Discord, right? It was the Crackdown Discord. So.
Yeah,
and it was because people kept asking them about it. Is what was going on.
Well, but they came through and they said it.
Yeah, but there's times where you have to get ahead of the fire, to clear out anything that could ignite. You know what I'm saying?
Super chat.
Oh shoot, yo, what is going on? Y9 Power supporting the channel. Thank you, brother, so much. He said, good evening, down to earth gamers. Thanks for the coverage of Crackdown 3. And basically, that's to all of us except for Dark, because Dark didn't want to play. He doesn't even like the game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Delirium Blades has a good point.
Oh yeah? What I use transparent underwear? That's what we're going with on that. That's the point, huh? Well, hold on, P-Ro, back with what I was looking at the chat. P-Ro, huge shout out to P-Ro. Thank you for chiming in. He said
Joe Staten said it before the second testing yesterday.
Really? Yeah, because they were getting flooded with questions, though. That's the whole thing. Instead of waiting until you get flooded with questions, like, yo, do you think people are gonna see this? Like, you would have to get out in front of that whole thing. But P-Ro in the chat said the game is cloud-based. He's like, how would you spin a server if your friend is in Alaska? And that's what I'm saying, P-Ro. That's why I think there will be an issue. They say that they're going to patch it in, but it's not going to be there day one. I think it could take a while, just for the fact that they're using the server for the destruction. I from what I saw, from playing games against people, a lot of the people that we played games against, it was a regional thing in terms of getting people together. I think this is going to be a bigger issue than what people are hoping right now. I don't.
Oh, it's
do you guys hear where I'm coming from though?
Oh yeah, no, it's major. It's
a huge issue because if you're not going to allow people to play with their friends, then that's the whole point of having an online service is to play with your friends. I mean, yeah, granted, it might be best to get to know other people as well, but I mean, for the majority of
Give me
us
the
Xbox
option,
gamers
though.
and even PlayStation gamers, like I know there's they
don't
talk
play
a lot of
online.
shit,
No,
but for the
I'm just
most
playing.
part, for the most but for the most part, they play with their friends. They don't really play that much with, random people. A lot of people always say that where it's like, oh, I hate playing with randoms, and that's the case. That's the truth because there's a lot of randoms out there that just don't know how to play the game, and a lot of the people that like playing those kind of games know how to play it, and they want to play with their friends who also know how to play it. So it's a
Yeah,
huge
and
issue.
my whole thing is, and I think everybody on the panel here will agree. When it comes down to it, I know I prefer the Xbox platform, but when something like this does happen,
You do?
But
Oh my
hold on,
god,
but
that's so
when
amazing.
something like this
Surprising.
does happen, I'm not going to damage control it. I feel like the people who subscribe to this channel, people in the gaming community as a whole, I think they deserve better than that. Like, I'm not going to be like, yeah, no, it's going to be fine. I am still excited for this game, but this is a huge, huge step backward in my opinion. And I don't...
Do you think this is why we haven't seen a ton of marketing about it?
That's a great
Could
point
be.
right there. Like, they knew that it's like it's a skeleton. It's
But
like a
they're
skeleton
dirty.
in their closet, and they're just trying to keep the door closed for as long as possible.
For me, I think the reason why we don't see very much marketing for a lot of their games and for this game in particular is because I don't think they have faith in these games because this was during, Donnie D's era, and they just, they want to forget about that era because of the fact of
Oh yeah, well,
so much shit that
you
they
can
had to
take
go
that
through.
super chat since
Hi, Z Black Rider.
there you go.
I'm waving at you, but you can't see it.
But and that's the huge issue is that they don't believe in these games, so that's why I feel that they're not marketing them to their full potential. And as you could see, like, you gotta admit, guys, like, I mean, some of the games that we got this generation were good. There was a lot of them that we got that were good, like Halo 5 was good. Gears
Oh,
of War
don't say
4
that
was
on
good.
Twitter.
Forza, all the Forzas were good. I mean, I liked Quantum Break. I know a lot of people didn't like it.
That
I
was a
get
great
that.
story.
That's fine. It's not your type of game. I liked it. Recore was an okay game. I didn't finish it, but I thought it was an okay game. I didn't think it was terrible. It's just that we gotta admit that a lot of the games that we got this generation weren't that great. Like, there was a lot of stuff that we got that wasn't very good. Like, I mean, look at State of Decay 2's player base. It dropped like a hat after.
Dude, what is up with this drop like a hat?
Nobody
Is
was
this gonna
really
be
playing
your call sign now? Is this?
It might be, but I'm just saying, there was a lot of games that we got this generation that were just dropped after a couple days or even a week after we got them because they just didn't have the faith in them, and there was a reason why they didn't have faith in them because of the fact that it wasn't. I think I don't really know Phil, and I don't know how he operates or anything, but I think he was really like adamant about being like, I don't think we should come out with these games. These games are. I don't think he
wanted
really felt
Crackdown.
like
He wanted
these.
Crackdown. He can.
Right, he wanted Crackdown,
Maybe
but
not like
but
this.
I think a lot of those games he was like, no.
Well, if they
And-
had taken more time with, I mean, 5 years is a long fucking time, but if they delayed it anymore, people would have just been like, screw you. And I feel like that's why they're putting it in Game Pass, is because it took so long to develop. And they're still not done. They still need more work. But can you imagine what it's like to try to put this game together? It's probably not easy at all.
Look at the
so-
gameplay
No,
that's
it's
going
not.
on right now. Do you think this was easy to put together and have all?
Oh, I could do that with
All
my
right,
eyes
well then
closed,
you
but-
need to develop a game so this way we can become rich, okay? All right.
Yeah, okay. But
Well,
it's
after
a
looking
lot
at
of
this-
work.
Yeah. After looking at this, it looks like almost kind of like an Unreal Tournament in a way.
Yeah.
Um, not so much in depth like Unreal Tournament is, but it definitely looks like that type of game. I mean, I like the destruction from what I'm seeing here, but I just wish that was in the single player campaign
Okay,
stuff
see,
as well.
you're gonna enjoy it, like I said
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, no,
But
I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, as for me, I look at it as uh, Primal Data made a good point, and he was like, "Well, look, if they knew that they was having this problem, why don't they just connect with Rare, since they know how to do it with Sea of Thieves?" And I mean, like that's a perfect thought
That's
process.
probably what
Hopefully
they're doing
might
right now.
just,
They're probably on the
go and do
phone
that.
with them, like,
Yeah, like man, they Rare. We know that you're using the cloud, so I mean, with the, what I'm saying. So why don't you show us how this works or something? But I know that it has to do something with this technology,
Yeah.
with this whole cloud destruction thing. I think we all kind of get that.
the question is,
It's just, to me, is that it's like,
no, I was
what
gonna say
you
the question is, how long would it take for them to figure it out and patch something in? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question. I mean, from some people that they're trying to say, calling them out for their bullshit or whatever, and they, I guess they expect it to be done tonight. Saying if people, if so many people knew how this works or what's the problem, then they would be developers to damn selves. I just crack up that people like to get on soapboxes and try to, and this is nothing to damage control. This is a problem. This is something that should have been fixed, or somebody should have been aware of this. This is bad. But again, if you don't know what the issue is, I don't know what the issue is. And if they're trying to get it done right, we don't want these people to just throw some shit together with duct tape, and then it messes up even worse the next time, and then you're bitching about because we gotta wait for another patch.
And that has been the biggest problem this generation, is where people complain about this kind of stuff, right? And they get it done, they get it working, like, day one or a week or so after, and it's broken, and they're upset about it, and it's like, well, what do you expect? You guys were fucking complaining. You guys were yelling at the developers. You guys were basically on Twitter excruciating them and saying that they're pieces of shit, and then they give you what they feel that they can give you at the time, and they give you what you want, and then you're like, oh, well, fuck you. It's like, come on, guys, like, this is video games. This isn't fucking, this isn't like real life or anything like that. This isn't,
No, this is real. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's real life. Yeah.
You know what? I gotta say, Ottemis, at the end of the day, if it was an easy fix, then we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Right.
And look, this is what, and I made this point too, and of course people took it as damage control, but this seemed like to be the norm for pretty much all types of games. Not saying this particular thing with what Crackdown's going through, but just the norm of just games not being fully completed. You got what was that? Fallout 76.
That game's still not completed.
I mean, hell, I could look.
These are so not in the same package.
I could throw in Soul Calibur 6.
The reason
the multiplayer didn't work on Soul Calibur 6 for a month, over a month.
Yeah, the reason as to why a lot of people, I think, are giving this so much shit and giving a lot of these games so much shit is because they're exclusives to the Xbox. They're not third-party type of games where they can play it on PlayStation and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of people who are just, giving it that treatment because they're saying it's on Xbox. It must, it has. I'm not.
I can't stop watching the gameplay right now.
I've seen it a lot this generation where a lot of
people are for Xbox that are saying you need to support Xbox games. You need to support Xbox games.
Exactly.
They're there for every other fucking game, but now they're not anywhere to be found.
Right. Yeah.
The only Xbox exclusive game that I didn't buy this generation was Sea of Thieves, and that's because I didn't like the beta. I didn't like all that other stuff when they put that in there, and then I saw videos of people playing it day one, and I was just like, not enough content for me. I didn't get that. And then with Game Pass, you know, now it's kind of easier to just kind of, you know, not buy these games. Yeah, granted, I should be supporting these games because of the fact that, you know, if we don't, then we're not going to see another Crackdown, or we're not going to see another,
I think
State of Decay or stuff. You know,
I think State of Decay is in a good
well, no,
place.
I think Crackdown. I think we're going to see another Crackdown as well. I think, you know, with more powerful consoles and what AMD is doing with the server farms for the Azure, and they're going to be even more powerful as well. So, you know, stuff like this isn't going to happen at the end of the day. But yo, Mega, I wanted to pose something to you, and I wanted to hear kind of like your thoughts on it. I feel. Well, and everybody else afterwards, but yo, me and Mega, we talk about games a lot. Probably the only person I talk about games more is Snaps. But I think that they really just wanted to get this game out. Because I feel like this is the last smudge that is on kind of like the Xbox logo, and they wanted to clear this out before they came out with new hardware with a newer perspective going into you know, the launch day for Project Scarlet and the launch lineup there. They feel like, you know, whatever kind of negative stigma that they got this generation, once they show the launch lineup, once that launch lineup for Scarlet goes smoothly and everything like that, people won't remember as much this generation with certain situations like Crackdown and stuff like that. Do you agree with me, man?
Yeah, no, 100%. Out of sight, out of mind. I mean, they wanted to get this game out of here as soon as possible, get it out here. You could tell. I mean, they couldn't afford another delay, and they damn sure couldn't afford another cancellation. So what else do you have to do? You have to bring the game out. And yeah, and it's gotten so much flack, but once this game gets out here, there's not going to be a lot of, you know, there's not going to be a lot of people that's going to just talk about it, you know, crazily. I mean, you know, I'm just going to talk. I'll talk more about Sea of Thieves than I probably will talk about Crackdown, but I will be playing the hell out of Crackdown. But it's just a thing of just like, look, finally it's here. Keep it, you know, it's kind of like has this, well, I don't know if it will, it should get that Sea of Thieves treatment. Well, the game is being worked on, is progressing over time. That helps them generate for whatever they're going to do with the next Crackdown or whatever, or for what they're going to do with Halo, because they're going to use this technology as well. So they needed to get this game out of here, and yeah, it's a bit. Crackdown's had a lot of black eyes, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying, it's been an abused, battered wife. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She needs to go. She needs to get out of there, get away from the abusive husband. It's been too long.
So is Donnie D the abusive husband?
Yeah. So Donnie D was.
You know, he's been gone for a while.
Double dollar sign.
Yeah, he was gone for a while, but she's still traumatic because
his presence is still there.
Yeah, it's still there. But I mean, that's the one thing, and and this is a stigma that Phil has to deal with, because the one thing that you say, well, Phil is in charge now. And as Phil's done so many really great things, there's still people that still have this thought process that Phil is.
I think our boy Blades, he's done with Phil as well. He's like, yo, he steered the boat, you know, in a different direction. He's like, but what fucking direction did he steer us in? Like, basically.
Well, these things takes time, and they had to readjust their whole thought process of what they were trying to be at the beginning of this generation. I mean, you have to think it's been what, 5 years now, almost 5 years, and they have made such an incredible turnaround. I don't think there's not too many companies that can make the type of turnaround that Xbox has done. And I mean, and the one thing
quickest turnaround too.
Right. And what's the one negative about that is that these games take time to make, and even though Crackdown has took so damn long to make, and a lot of people may have been expecting more, it's out. And so now we're going to see what Mad Booty and what the rest of the staff is going to do, and what the initiative and what Ninja Theory, what we're going to see actually now start seeing, because now what's coming here, this next generation, is definitely going to be Phil Spencer's,
not only that, but this year we got Ori 2 and the next Gears coming out as well this year.
We do.
Right. Right.
And that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that Don Matrick, how fucked up he made
There's some
Xbox.
people you can't
Like
say that
people
to,
don't
though.
realize like
Put it in the ground. Yeah.
how much he ruined the Xbox brand. Like he ruined that brand for a lot of people. People don't realize it. People started seeing it on the 360 era, but they didn't really get to see it until this generation of consoles. And and he really messed with it because he was all about TV. He was all about, advertisements on your console. He was all about the almighty dollar. He was never about the gamer. And people think to themselves, "Oh, well, he was a good, Xbox boss." No, he was not. He was not a good Xbox boss. He was not thinking about the gamer at all. Like good bosses think about for
He was
especially
all
for
revenue,
consoles,
man. Like
they think
he's
they think right. They think about the consumer and what they want, not about what's going to make them the most dollar. Look at PlayStation. PlayStation really this generation has thought about the gamer quite a bit, and so is Xbox when it was taken under by Phil. But you guys got to realize that like these consoles haven't been out that long. Like it really hasn't been that
No,
long.
it hasn't.
Like and Phil really hasn't been in his position that long. Like he really hasn't.
It's going on.
So
Yeah, it hasn't even been 3 years yet.
no, it hasn't. So it's gonna take him time to get these games out there, and especially when they just acquired some of these games. Like they just acquired, what was it, an Exile and Obsidian. Like it's gonna take a while for us to get these games that we really want and
well.
will
That's why
enjoy.
we don't have Halo
And
Infinity yet. That's why that's going to be a launch game. Like
And people think to themselves, "Oh well, God of War didn't take that long." Yes, it fucking did, dude. Like don't believe what you hear or see, because guess what? It did take a long time to make that game. They were starting on that game after they did it, God of War Ascension. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
been a while since
just
they
think about how long Detroit. Remember that demo that they showed
exactly.
of on the PlayStation 3 of Detroit?
Yeah.
Like and that was what, like a year, like a year before or next to the last year when the PlayStation,
so like
the
2012
3 generation. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that tech demo where they were showing the girl that didn't have that had the metal head and she was just talking to you.
Yeah.
And they were just showing this tech demo and everybody was like, "Whoa, what is that?" And that was Detroit.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
That was Detroit right there.
And that's just David Cage. Like he takes a while on his games, but it didn't feel that long because people didn't know anything
that
about
was
that
just a
demo
movie.
or that little tech demo because
What helped PlayStation was the fact of the remasters, because there was so many people that went over from 360 or from wherever to the PlayStation, and they never got a chance to play The Last of Us or God of War 3, etc. So
Right.
those games are still fresh on their minds. I mean, people are talking like Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead is a brand new game, and it was a last generation game. So
Last of Us, you mean?
PlayStation,
but it goes to show you that they actually did listen to their player base, and they actually listened to the consumer, and that was the problem with the Xbox in the beginning, is that they didn't listen to the consumer or the gamer. They were just like focused on what they wanted to do at the time, and now they're starting to think about the gamer.
I just want to bring this back on topic. I got one more question for you guys, and I think we could wrap it up when it comes to Crackdown. And I'm gonna go to O Snaps first. She's been a little quiet. She might be playing a game or something.
I didn't play a game yet. I was staring
just one
at
last
screen.
question when it comes to this whole Crackdown thing, because I saw the tweets and everything going out yesterday, and somebody from Sumo Digital said, we'll talk about our plans to support this game, post-launch, plans to support this game post-launch in the near future. I think that if they can't do a patch for this game, for this mode, I think that they are going to come out with a more traditional multiplayer that takes like pieces of the story, like City, and it doesn't have the destruction, but you still have the speed and stuff like that, and they'll let you bring your friends into that. If that is something that they come up with, would you be satisfied with that all around as like a whole game?
I mean, what are you gonna do, bot?
Protest.
Honestly? Like, I'm gonna play it either way. You know, I mean, yes, I would be a little happier, but I guess it wouldn't be the same, you know. And my gripe with this is they market it like I was looking at it on the Xbox console. When you click on the game, it tells you Wrecking Zone, where you go up against your friends and rivals, or you play with your friends and go up against rivals. So that's very misleading. It is,
because how are you going to create rivals, and how are you going to bring friends into it? Like
3, 2, 1, go.
There you
Obviously,
go.
You guys better get in sync with each other. You know, that's it. You know, and while I had fun, yes, it's a little disappointing. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna play the game. No, not at all. I had a fucking blast.
Nice.
You know, I really had a blast, and I look forward to Friday. I am off of work. I got a couple of errands to run, but I will be on. So if you guys want to find me in a game, that's where I'll be on Crackdown 3.
Awesome. Yo, Mega, what do you think? Like, and I thought this yesterday when I first started seeing the tweets from Sumo, and they're like, well, we'll talk about this, you know, we'll talk about the post-launch support, you know, in the near future. I'm thinking if they can't do a patch for this, they're going to do a more traditional multiplayer. They'll still have Wrecking Zone in there, so it'll be another mode in there where you can bring your friends in, and I think they would use, like, pieces of the city as, you know, the playground for the competitive multiplayer in that mode. Would you be happy with that?
No. I mean, I like the ambition, the ambitious strategy that they're trying to do with this. And look, this is what you got to eat crow, and you just got to deal with it. Not as so much as a gamer, because the gamers can just go to another game and play something else. But for the developers of this game, they have to finish this product and have it completely done. I mean, it's no different than look at No Man's Sky, for instance, or even Sea of Thieves right now. I mean, just you look at just certain games that started off and had some bad stuff happen to them, and then they weren't fully completed or just whatever. And you just, as a developer, you cannot give up on these games. These are projects that these guys have been working on for years. And so if you just go ahead and say, no, we're going to just scrap that and do that, then that's going to take that's even going to take more time. So just keep working on the craft, get it right. And if they don't get that multiplayer party chat thing done quick, then they just need to expect that they're going to have to take an L on it. They're going to have to take a major L on it, but just keep working on it until it gets fixed. And you never know. I mean, with the help of Game Pass, you can, and maybe some extra free DLC, then you could probably get this. You could probably get some people back.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. You've seen the gameplay right now. But this is not like, you know, the graphics on the campaign side of things, the city and everything like that. It's so much more detailed. It is like, from what I've seen, crazy immersive. Being able to run around the actual campaign city and everything like that. And I think a lot of people are going to have fun doing that as well.
Can I just address something real quick in the chat? All right, JP says you guys should want more, not defend mediocre games. You know, we all want more, you know, but at the end of the day, we're not the ones building these games. And yeah, it's disappointing, but you know, I'm going to defend the game because I'm here to have fun. This game is fun. You know, at the end of the day, we were all screaming and yelling and laughing yesterday. Oh yeah. You know, so it's fun. Yes, it's disappointing, but can I force them to change it? No. The people who enjoy the game are going to play the game. So it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to say like I'm damage controlling it or anything. They fucked up. They did. And I'll admit that. But at the same time, I'm still going to play the game. And yeah, I want more, but I'm playing it on Game Pass. I'm not purchasing the game. There's a lot of people who are still going to purchase the game regardless, you know? So it's still going to be a decent game for a lot of people. And yes, you know, we want more. We always want more, but we demand so much of these companies when we're not the ones who are doing the work. Yes, we're paying for a product, but can you imagine how much it costs to make that product versus what we're paying? You know,
hundreds of millions of dollars to make these products.
Well, snaps! I feel
and this is the last thing I'm gonna speak on. I'm gonna kind of speak on with what Snaps is saying. People don't realize that like it's not really damage controlling if you're enjoying the game. If you're enjoying the game, then that's what you like. You like playing that game. Who gives a shit? Like, why is it like, oh, you're damage controlling if you like this game? Fuck off, dude. Honestly, literally, fuck off. Because you know why? It's not even that at all. Like, there's a ton of games that you guys like that I don't like. There's a lot of games that I like that I know for sure a lot of you guys don't like it. So, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah, exactly. I'm damage controlling. One man's trash is another man's treasure. So
I just wanna
whatever
go into that as well. Is just look. I mean, look, clean up your own backyard before you start talking about stuff. Yeah, you got God of War, you got your games. But I mean, you're talking about. But the one thing about it, look, God of War is not $1 billion franchise. Neither is Uncharted. Neither is Horizon Zero Dawn. I know that they're new IPs. They got a lot of acclaim, a lot of this, a lot of that, right? But for when you look at GT Sport, the biggest title that PlayStation has when it comes to their $1 billion franchise, it doesn't hold you know what I'm saying, the jockstrap to Forza. But I don't hear you don't hear me saying, well, look, GT. You know what I'm saying? Y'all guys enjoy mediocre games because GT isn't on the same level. I think it's, if you like GT Sport, then you like GT Sport. If you love Drive Club, you love Drive Club. It's everybody has a different acquired taste. And look, this game might not be for you, and you might be into something else, and that's fine. Exactly. But look, nobody's saying that this game is comparable to Gears of War. But when Gears of War is comparable to other big titles that PlayStation or Nintendo has, what is the thing? What's the new hype that the guys say? Oh, another Forza, Halo, Gears. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them talking about, well, this game is fire, or if they don't, they just say the same lingo that it's trash. Enough of it. Look, you stay in your lane, we stay in ours. If you feel like that the game is not your cup of tea, stay on your PlayStation.
When it comes down to it, I feel like everybody here, we voiced our displeasure. We said, at the end of the day, they definitely fucked up on this. We went into like what we think happened at that point in time and what they are going to do to fix it. It's got a single player campaign. It's got a co-op element to it. They said that they're working on a patch. Why would we give up on the game like right off the bat when the developers put more than what you're seeing here into the game that we haven't even experienced yet, and they say that they are working on fixing and putting in the stuff that we want into the game? Why would we give up on that and say, well, no, that's it, you didn't have it like right off the bat? I'm upset about it. All right, I wanted to bring my friends into it. I'm hoping that they're able to fix it as fast as possible. I also want transparency. I want to know why it's not in there. I'm not sure if I'll ever get that. I do like transparency when it comes to companies. It shows that, they're willing to say when it's like, oh, damn, we screwed up, or we couldn't put this in, but we're trying. I like hearing that stuff, all right? And that's something you hardly ever get on Sony's side. I played like Drawn Together. There was people saying that game looked like trash. I had to defend that from both the Xbox and people on Sony's side because I thought it was a fun game to play, and I believe.
You like that game.
I did. I like that game too.
So at the end of the day, it's not about graphics. They did something. They took a huge step back with not being able to bring your party into the game. Now, hopefully, they fix it. But until then, I will be playing single player. I will be streaming single player, and yes, I'm gonna still play Wrecking Ball as well. I just need to Wrecking Zone. Sorry, my bad. But I need to be updated. I need to be updated on the situation as well. You know what, guys? I am done here. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for now. I didn't know how long this was going to go. We don't usually stream or do a show on Monday. But like I said, the show Saturday was so much fire. There was just so many opinions. It went left, but it went left in a great way, and we still had topics to talk about. So, you know, me and Dark came in. Of course, O-Snaps came in, and our brother K-Mega. Guys, I appreciate this panel. I think it was an awesome show, and it's all because of you guys and the people in the chat. We are going to do the outros. O-Snaps, what are you doing tonight, and where can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go play some Apex Legends because I can't play Crackdown Wrecking Zone.
Oh, they're doing another session tomorrow, by the way.
Get the fuck out.
They
I'm
spun it up
tomorrow.
for, I think it's 3 p.m. our time.
Maybe they'll have the ability to play with your friends.
Yo, if that is, oh man, are we?
Like, tricked you, motherfuckers.
We'll be hearing it on Twitter
Got
from
'em.
bot being like, "Hey, we got what we want," and I'll be like, "Shut up, bot."
yeah, shut up, bot. But you know, publicity is publicity, and keep that in mind. But anyways, I just need more coffee.
Me too.
You guys can find me on Twitter at girlscangame22. And I'll be over on Mixer streaming some Apex Legends or PUBG, one of the two. I'm not really sure yet. I do have a giveaway going. There's 2 copies of Anthem I'm giving away.
No.
That ends
Lady,
the 21st.
You gotta say that with energy. Not one, but 2 copies of Anthem.
Not one, but 2 copies of Anthem. Go enter right now. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. But yeah, I'll be over on Mixer streaming. You guys can catch me there. I'm trying to get 1,000 followers. I'll get there eventually. But you do have to follow me on Mixer. So when you do follow me on Mixer, go check out some of my streams. I'll be streaming some Crackdown Wrecking Zone.
Yeah,
on Friday.
Not to be confused with Wrecking Ball. Okay. No.
Yeah, no Wrecking Balls.
Came in like a what?
Wrecking Zone?
All right, well, check this out. Dark, we basically had this plan. I don't know if people saw it, but Saturday when we're like, man, I got to change the title and everything, I was like, well, dude, we'll just go live, sometime during the week. And we hit it off first day of the week, Monday, and we were here. Why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you, man, to talk games? Dude, you're a professional. You know the deal.
Yeah, I gotta say, this was probably the best Monday I've had in a long time. My Mondays have been kind of hectic and crazy. Today, to just get in here and talk about games with you guys, it was fantastic. But yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter and Xbox at Dark Ottemis. Tonight, I'll probably be hopping into some Apex Legends, so I need a crew. So if you want to hit me up on Xbox Live, definitely hit me up.
Well,
and
we'll
play some Apex
Can
Legends.
you have a crew like in a party chat and bring them into a multiplayer for Apex?
Only 3 of them. First of all, that's a problem there. But you know what? We still support the game.
Only 3, but you know what? I haven't played it yet, and I've been wanting to play it, and I don't have anybody to play with, so I've been kind of like, yeah.
Mega, did you shed a tear right there for Dark? I think I felt one.
He never. He won't.
One. I'm not sure if it came out though. Yeah. Yo, Mega, thank you so much for jumping in, man. Brother, we have been at this a long time, man, and it always feels weird if I'm doing a live show and you're not here. So you just made me feel that much more comfortable when you jumped in. But why don't you let people know what is going on with your channel and where they can get a hold of you and such, man?
Oh yeah, man. Just check out my channel, KMega405. Just go up there. Just don't watch nothing. Just hit the sub button. That'd be great. Anyway,
no, you have to hit thumbs up as well, like on everything.
Yeah, but that's where you get most of your revenue from, man. You gotta watch it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no. Watch something and just cut it off anyway. Just watch commercials. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, no, man. Check me out then on Twitter at KMega4. I'm usually mostly on Twitter during the day at work or whatever, just saying stuff, not just to piss people off, but just saying stuff and people just get triggered. I don't know. I guess I got a
you
knack for
definitely
those
do,
things,
man.
but, man,
Dude, you racist.
It's pretty funny. But, Yeah, that was the first one. Being called a racist is new. So I don't know, man. These PlayStation fans, man,
I think they're running.
I don't know, man.
I will say every time your feed pops up in my little feed there, it's always entertaining because somebody's always coming at you about something. So
always,
I'm entertained.
Always, even Xbox guys will come at me sometimes for stuff.
I know.
It's wild. But other than that, yeah, check me out there. The GRG podcast every Friday night. We will be doing a giveaway as well. All the games is coming out on the 15th. One person will get that game, and from the Patreon. And you know what I'm saying, you never know. It's according to how I feel. I might want to give somebody that's in the chat that's listening. I might want to get them a little bit of love too. So go check us out. And man, it's 2-year anniversary next week. So this week. So it's gonna be fun, man.
Damn,
so
brother, time flies, man. Time flies.
It has.
Nice. And yo, I gotta give a huge shout out to everybody who came to hang out with us tonight. Guys, I know we don't normally do that, and to see the crowd that came in today, you guys killed it. Nothing but support. The chat was absolute fire.
Dude, we got close to 90.
Yeah, it was insane.
See those 10 thumbs down though, Bob?
They're all for They're all for K Mega and the white sheets that he wears, from what I heard.
Oh yeah, I know.
Wow.
Damn.
I'm done with you.
Guys, on that note, I hope we helped you have a nice, smooth Monday night. I hope you guys were entertained as much as we were entertained doing this show for you. And guys, stay tuned to this channel. I will have a big announcement. Follow me on Twitter. It is at xbot448. I'm pregnant with triplets, like 10 months pregnant.
And really, I'm not a black guy, black and Native American guy. I'm a redneck trucker. Okay, let's get to it.
I'm not really white. I'm actually
he's not
Caucasian.
white. He's not
ashy.
white. He's just really ashy. Oh, Becca, you beat me to it, man. Guys, on that note, have a great night. We will be seeing you again soon. Definitely check out Snap It Smells Mixer. You definitely want to follow that if you want a chance to win one of 2 copies of Anthem. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Rachel, man.